Florence J. Tempton, 1569. She says, I had a similar experience, Tiffany, with a high school classmate. Oh, okay. So let me tell you, as I'm reading her question, this is definitely on the episode that we did on interracial friendships. You all had a lot of thoughts about that episode. So Florence says, I had a similar experience, Tiffany, with a high school classmate. We would joke around and flirt until one day he said to me, I'd date you if you were white. Now, I wasn't attracted to him, that part. I thought we were just being playful, but I never spoke to him again after that. Yeah, so this is a very common thing. I remember when I was in the seventh grade, and this guy, Kenny, I won't say his last name. I remember his last name, but it was East Cobb Middle School. And this guy, Kenny, said to me, Tiffany, you're so pretty for a Black girl. And that wasn't the first time I heard it. It wasn't the last time I heard it. And the offense in that statement, because it's not always our physical attribution, which in itself is offensive given our very specific history in this country with white men lusting after Black women in our bodies. But sometimes it's you're smart for a Black girl, or you're so well spoken for a Black girl, or you conduct yourself differently from other Black people. And I just want to say, I am they and they are me. Okay. We are one unit. And so this whole attitude of, I don't like them, but you're the special one. I think sometimes that can make it difficult to have genuine friendships with people across, certain racial and ethnic lines. But if you have somehow found that magic formula, great. Because on the flip side of that, and I think maybe this didn't come across in the episode, I think having some curiosity about our fellow countrymen is always a good thing. For example, a lot of people may not know that the Asian American Pacific Islander community is the fastest growing demographic in this country. And so having relationships with people in this community with the understanding that there are anti-Black sentiment and people who feel and hold anti-Black sentiments in every community, I always approach it with that understanding. But having honest conversations with people in different communities has really been helpful to me in broadening my perspective. I think when it comes to white people, that's such a perspective that was we know so well. We have no choice but to know that perspective and understand that community, because for so long that's been the master narrator. But as the racial demographics of the country change, there will be no racial majority post 2044. And so, understanding the Latino community better, who for the first time have eclipsed Black voters when it comes to eligible voters, not registered voters, but eligible voters, and understanding how you can disaggregate these communities. They all have different countries of origin and just fall under the umbrella of AAPI or Latino. The indigenous community, who by all means have certainly suffered in this country at the hands of white supremacy. And the Muslim community, as we see these conversations expand around Gaza. So I definitely encourage people to broaden our friendship circles and horizons. But I also know that safe spaces for us are often few and far between. So I just value those spaces for myself. But thank you, Florence, for sharing that, because I can certainly relate to that. Okay, Tedwards. T. Edwards. I don't know. T. Edwards 9461. He says, I am a 59-year-old Black guy from Southern Virginia, and I thought I had a lot of white friends until one day my best Black friends explained to me that I did not. And I have to agree with her. She explained that since I don't speak with them about my negative racial history and experiences, they can't be considered my friends. I have spoken with her for countless hours about the racism experienced by my Black friends in Virginia, and she knew I didn't talk about those things with white people I think of as friends. She also asked me to count the number of white friends I would go camping or hunting with. That sealed it for me. Okay. I completely understand that. But, I would also say friendship is how you define it. I think sometimes we're very loose with those words. When I say friend, if I'm calling somebody my friend, like this is my girl or this is my, my man 50 grand, like we are ride or die, 10 toes down. This is my people. And so maybe you have associates who are outside of your racial or ethnic demographic. Maybe they're not friends. And that's what it sounds like with Mr. T. Edwards. Okay, this next one is at Toya4270. Um, Oh, this is okay. This is on our motherhood episode. A lot of you guys had, or mama trauma, I should say, a lot of you guys had a lot of thoughts about that. She says, this is a powerful conversation and I'm in tears. I was mentally and physically abused by my mother. We had a turbulent relationship, but I truly loved her. She was depressed, angry, and drank alcohol every day. She never hugged me nor said she loved me. She often told me that birthing me at 15 ruined her life. Wow. She died from a heart attack at 52. I'm now 53. After intense therapy and the love of Jesus, I forgave my mother. She did the best she could. At least she tried, unlike my father who walked away. Thank you, Tiffany, for bringing women together to heal through sharing our truth. I've been watching you since your show, The Cross Connection. Peace and blessings. Well, peace and blessings to you, Joya. First, I want to say I'm sorry that happened to you. I cannot imagine having that relationship. And I found that conversation for me, you guys recall our executive producer Carla stepped in for that episode, and and we had the elder woman Miss Glennis on with us. For me personally, that episode was very healing. Hearing myself recount things that I had gone through. My mom and I, we talk every day. We have a close relationship. And I can meet my mother with the grace that she deserves, but also not abandon that little me that was so traumatized by our upbringing. So, to all of you out there who are still managing and navigating tumultuous, difficult, challenging relationships with a parent, but specifically Black women and our mothers, I wish you well on that journey because it is indeed a journey. And I don't know, just something in me cracked open in talking about that, and I just love my mother dearly, and I'm just grateful. I don't romanticize having another life. I don't think, oh, if I were raised by Claire Huxtable, I might, however my life turned out, it made me a very hardworking, ambitious, dedicated person. You can drop me off in the middle of the jungle and I'm gonna come out rocking chinchilla and eating and drinking out of a coconut. So I'm grateful for the childhood I had. It made me hungry. And I know I went to school with a lot of people who were, compared to me, very privileged. I work with a lot of people who were raised very differently than me. And yeah, there is a difference. Like you can tell. And God bless everybody on their path, but I'm grateful for mine. So for all of you navigating mama trauma, um, I wish you a brighter tomorrow.